Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of No Good Opinions. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to be talking about the Epstein files for quite some time. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk wild Grok AI going rogue. We're going to talk a little bit about the things that are pissing us off this week. We're also going to talk a little bit about a little documentary I saw about 6 or 7 years ago that was pretty interesting, so stay tuned.
Good opinions.
Welcome to the first show. I am Rob and this is Tim. This is No Good Opinions, where we talk about just about anything and also nothing at the same time. So welcome to the first show. Tim, how you feeling over there, brother?
Hey, man. Uncle Tim is here. I'm ready to rock, man. Let's go, baby.
I should probably say, why we're even doing this. We seen a world in despair, and we thought, what could we do? What does the world need right now? And obviously the answer is another podcast with two middle-aged white guys giving their unsolicited opinions.
Oh.
So here we are.
100%, man. We're here to save this world. We're here to save this world.
Yeah, one bad opinion at a time. So, heard you had a little mishap with your foot, brother. What happened?
Oh, man, bro. Talk about some shit. So, call it 3 weeks ago from the 4th of July, we lost power here at the Casa. And I think I told you about that. But we lost power here, and the garage door, where we live, it's a detached garage, right? So you got a picture. This is detached, sits off to the side, and lost power, couldn't get either one of our vehicles out. The generator's in there, and the previous homeowner didn't leave the key for the garage, the big garage door. There's no side door, but there's a lock for the big garage door. We had this big mess of keys from the people that we bought the house from, but not one key for that damn garage, right?
Yeah.
So I came up with the brainiac idea that there was enough space in that garage door on the floor where I could just put my ass into it. And then I recruited the wife to go out there with me, and I game planned with the little guy. When I get this thing up, man, you're the only one that's going to get under there. So I need you to army crawl under there, bro. Take this here flashlight, and you need to pull that release. Well, he gets in there, bro. Did his thing. I was so proud of him. Pulled that thing. Boom! I immediately stuck my foot as soon as I seen it come down, because he would have been stuck in there. He would have been stuck in the damn garage, bro, until somebody could have come and got him out. So I jammed my foot under there right as it's coming down. Wow, man. Oh, screamed out like a bitch. We had to lift this thing up to get him out. We got in. Great. Yeah. I limped around for a couple weeks. The top of my foot was, blacker than the ace of spades, man. Fast forward to the 4th of July now. I'm feeling a little good. I'm having a few beers, some of them wobbly pops at the beach. And I go walking out, man. Step on a rock, heading to the sandbar, and I felt it. Went right up the fucking asshole, out the mouth. Damn it!
Yeah.
Bro, hobbled around all weekend long. Didn't sleep worth a dick. And then I went to the foot doctor on Tuesday, and he's like, yeah, it's fractured.
He's like, take off your socks slowly.
It's fractured. And I'm like,
yeah.
I kind of had that idea, man. I kind of had that idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened there, man. So now I got this walking boot thing on, and they even gave me a slick driving shoe because it's my right foot, so I have to take this walking boot off and put on this walking shoe thing when I need to drive. It's great.
First thing that's dropped recently, first thing we're going to talk about here on the first episode is Epstein files. And god damn, this is just wild.
What files?
This is just wild. Exactly,
what
dude.
What files?
I mean, for all this to happen and for them to just be like, turns out there's nothing to see here, guys. I know we said we had tens of thousands of videos, but And we'll go into this video here shortly, but I'm not sure if they talk about it. But the fact that like they keep bringing up they keep using this defense about how they don't want to like expose the victims or like bring any sort of, you know, they're worried about the victims. But why are we pretending like this is the first crime that's ever had victims?
Yeah, that's the card that they're trying to play.
You guys know what to do when there's victims. You block, you redact. You know what I mean? And they're like, they're like, all these videos, you know, had minors, we're not releasing them. We don't want to see the videos. We want to know who's fucking in them.
I want that list that was on.
Cause it's the guy fucking breathing over your shoulder, as you're saying there's fucking there's no files, and it's just like it's such like a wild defense to be like we're not there's these victims, and on top of that there's already been like 50 victims that are just like this is me, this is my name, and this is what fucking happened.
Yeah, this is my story.
And they say there's over 200 victims here.
The Pam Bondi, the one that was handling this and the one that had it on her desk, she's a real treat, man.
Right.
I'm excited to watch this video and have some takes on it because she's so full of shit her eyes are brown.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So this video is by CoffeeZilla. If you've ever been on YouTube, you probably know who he is. He's got to be one of the closest things to a fucking superhero we have, in a world kind of actually filled with villains,
Yeah.
In so many ways. He uncovers the scams, the fraud, pretty much every crypto scam that's, every big one. He uncovered Jake Paul, all the big ones. He's been on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's a legit dude. You've seen him on the internet. But here we go. We're gonna get into it. Can you see it here?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, this is his video. If I'm gonna try to remember to link his video in the description of this video. So if you want to take a look yourself, it should be down there. If I did not forget. All right, so I'm hitting play.
Today we're talking about Epstein, the missing footage, the White House's response, including the fact that they're saying you should stop asking questions about it. How dare you bring it up at a time when they just released new information about it?
Can you say why there's a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If I
Pam,
could.
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened.
Yeah,
and
don't forget to mention
He
it
had to
seems,
mention the tragedy.
All right, so that's such a wild thing to say. I think, like, if there was one thing you shouldn't say, if you didn't want to seem suspicious, like that was it. To jump in immediately after they announced, oh, there's nothing to see here. To be like, someone be like, huh? And then to be like, what the fuck are you even still talking about that for?
It was so weird. It was so
Yeah.
strange, man. So strange. Like it just had guilt written all over it, right?
I really wish the reporter would have been like, well, he said he was your best friend for 10 years. So it seems pretty important. Kind of everyone sitting at that table and behind you for the last 30 years is probably involved in this. I mean, so that's the only reason I could think why that it's actually not being released, right? There's that many fucking people that are still involved on that list.
Right. Let's elaborate.
And I'm not sure if he goes into it. Yeah, there was like a fucking, clip of someone asking Donald Trump, hey, what do you think about Clinton? He was just like, oh, he's a pretty interesting guy. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble when these Epstein files release or whatever, is something along those lines. Knowing he was on those planes and shit. So,
yeah, like the flight log records, man.
The guy said he said he was Donald Trump's best friend for 10 years.
No, it's just like with the back to the flight logs, man. Like I want to see these files, and now all of a sudden there's no files to be had. They just poof miraculously vanished, and why are we still talking about him?
They're just non-existent.
We've got tragedy to worry about.
Yeah.
What?
Which is not untrue. There is a tragedy, but I'm pretty sure, Mr. President, you've done all you can do at this point. There's nothing you can do at this very moment to help said tragedy. All the parts are currently moving for said help. So I think we should probably focus on the string of pedophilia amongst all your friends and constituents up there.
Yeah, right. Man, imagine the shakedown, dude. There's got to be. That list has to be somewhere. It just can't not.
People have to imagine knowing the list.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing the list. Imagine being one of the guys or people, because I'm sure there has to be a handful of people that have to go through those videos, dude. How fucked up life. What kind of life can you possibly lead when that's your job? That you have to like watch those videos just to see what happened. That's someone's job, dude.
To go through all that
sick fucking footage. They have to sit there and fucking watch tens of thousands of tapes. They said.
Yeah, and now it's like...
And it's just wild that that's someone's job, that's what they have to do for a living. And then they have to go home and just, like, eat dinner.
The level of gaslighting here is unbelievable. These are the same people that have led us on for months that they're going to release the Epstein files, that it's transparency time. They're the ones that did the press op with them holding up the Epstein...
Yeah, so that's wild, dude. Look at this, like, media thing they're doing. How wild is this? They have the Epstein files phase 1 with, like, 3-inch binders, and they're all holding them up like, look what we got, guys. This is sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what they want us to believe is those are all empty. Turns out we opened them up. There was nothing there.
Poof. Just a bunch of chalk dust.
Yeah. It was just a bunch of blank pages the whole time. All right, I'm going to play here again.
Binders with the influencers. They're the ones who said in 2023 that we would better serve the American people by going after Epstein's client list. In fact, they're the ones who went on podcasts saying they're going to release the Epstein list.
Release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
That is an important
All right, I'm
thing.
going to pause it there again at 131. So that's wild right there. I watched that podcast, and what he said right before Theo Vaughn went, release the list. They were talking about like alcoholism in the government. And J.D. Vance was like, well, he said something along the lines of like, you'd be surprised, but everyone in politics has a much worse vice than alcoholism. And then Theo Vaughn went, release the list. And he's like, yeah, it's, we should release the list. And that's really important, is what he said.
Wow, man.
It was an important thing until there was no Epstein list. Turns out there's nothing to see here, nobody to charge. Epstein was trafficking to himself the entire time, and it is a desecration to even bring it up. Now, why this is so disgusting is the DOJ chose to release it now, okay? In case you don't know how bad news gets released in the era of PR and all this kind of stuff. they choose the timing, and they always choose the most inconvenient times to talk about stuff, the busiest news cycles. It is a very busy news cycle. There are a lot of things going on that are important, but that's why they released it now, because they know nobody's gonna like this, right? They know that. So they release it now, and then they scold people for talking about it. Do you get how gross this is? You guys are the ones desecrating. If anyone's desecrating anything, it's you guys. You guys chose to release it now, okay? So to play this cynical card of like, how dare you talk about it at a time like this? You chose the time. A few months ago, it wasn't a desecration to brag about the transparency, right? But now the old Epstein list apparently can't be released because it doesn't exist. Now, oh, it's a desecration to even bring it up. How could you talk about?
I don't think, or what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I don't think it goes into it, but there's like a footage of Kash Patel, you know, the head of the FBI,
director, yeah.
of you know, right before he got the job, of him just being like, you know, why won't they release this list? It's like the most important thing. If I was in there, I'd release the list. And he's going in on it, you know, with this like crazy bugged out eyes.
He goes hard on it. Yeah,
out,
dude, like he's like that, man, and he's going hard on it, dude.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that exact comment he's saying. Like, we're gonna get it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. And you know, every time every time they like cut to him, it's like, all right, now we're gonna fucking talk to Director FBI Kash Patel, and they like cut to him, and he's like this. Every time his eyes are just so wide, I always think about, man, that reminds me of when I was like in high school, and I'd like come home high, and I'd be like, make sure you try to hold your eyes open a little more, because try to hold them open a little more than they are, because like they're fucking low, right? So then like you just walk in looking like this.
Yeah, trying to walk by your folks. Yeah, like
just be cool.
Yeah, dude. Like that one GIF with that dude where he's like,
this New York financier. Luckily for us, Pam Bondi does actually address the missing minute of footage. Now we're going to talk about that.
The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
You're telling me this maximum security prison where you have people on suicide watch don't actually, one, have cameras that cover all the cells is wild. To have someone on suicide watch and have a camera not pointing at their cell seems like such a high impossibility that like they're just not showing us the right camera, right? Because I refuse to believe that's even anywhere in any prison across any scenario. Oh my god, my shit stopped.
in this day and age.
Yeah, my shit's just like playing. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, not only that, the quality is such shit. You're telling me I have more coverage with higher quality HD video in my apartment than you guys have in your maximum security prisons? And it's also, you're using VHS tapes from 1999.
You can't make that shit up, man. In today's world.
Maybe we upgrade it, you know? Maybe you guys get a couple Blink cameras in there off Amazon.
Yeah.
And get some HD footage with sound.
They were on sale this week, man. Prime Day, $9.99.
You know, and it's just insane that like that's even a thing. And then for them to be like, yeah, apparently there's like the reason there's a minute missing is like they have this old system and we're looking for some like other footage that has that same minute missing. How have you not done that? You're telling me you guys didn't notice the minute missing until you released it to the public, and now you're trying to figure it out, and it takes more than 10 seconds to get more footage where they just go, yeah, here's some more footage where the same minute's missing. Like how How is it such a fucking process?
But they said that they've known this has been happening forever. So you've just been okay with a minute missing in this maximum security prison.
Because remember, the original story was like, oh, like the security footage went down, and then like the guy fell asleep. Remember they had like this whole like story.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, oh, well, like it's just shitty footage, not facing his cell, and there's a minute missing.
Yeah. Come on.
Whoa, it's nothing. And then I think what she's about to say right now, I think I paused it right before that, and she says, like, and that's it for the Epstein files. Like that's it. Like, we're done. It was nothing, and we're moving along and not talking about it.
We're done here.
And that's it, guys. Apparently, every night, the surveillance system of this prison had 1 minute missing, okay? 1 key minute, the middle of the night. We don't know why, but it's the whole system, apparently the whole system that went out 10 days before. The part of the system that was working, 1 minute was always missing. But surely there's nothing that could have happened during that minute. Now, again, I'm not even on the team of like, it has to be that someone killed. I'm agnostic to that. What I am saying is the absolute confidence with which they come out and say, it proves everything. Yes, there's a minute missing. Yes, we don't know what happened. But nothing to see here, guys. We're closing the case. I mean, you couldn't try harder to make it look like a cover-up. I'm not saying it is a cover-up. I'm saying you could, if you were to do that, this is what you would do. You'd say, hey, there's always minutes missing from our footage. Your prison guards would falsify records and then fall asleep during the key hours. Your security system that was monitoring the actual cell block would go out. And then you would claim the camera that was recording that didn't have a good line of sight, which had an obstructed view where someone could slip by the stairwell without anyone noticing.
That right there is the one camera. That view up in the corner.
That's what you guys got?
That's it. Jeez.
Claim that was definitive proof that nobody entered. So you can't blame people for asking questions given the powerful people involved when there's these coincidental mistakes, right? Even the first attempt, which put Jeffrey Epstein on a watch, that footage was captured on tape, but they failed to preserve it. That was a whole other saga, was, oh, they just preserved the wrong footage, so it's lost to time, right? That's also the same time where Epstein accused his cellmate of trying to kill him, by the way.
Tonight, a lawyer who met with Jeffrey Epstein days before his death says Epstein told him he'd never tried to kill himself 3 weeks before, despite jail reports saying he did.
Sean says Epstein revealed that a few days earlier, his former cellmate, Nicholas Tartaglione, had placed something around his neck.
And he put a rope around Mr. Epstein's throat and then pulled it. That left the abrasion.
Tartaglione was a former cop on trial for murdering 4 people. He used a twist tie to strangle one of them.
But apparently we can't ask questions about that because, you know, they chose to release it at an inconvenient time, and therefore asking questions about it is somehow evil, wrong, or undignified. It's a desecration. Now, besides the 1 minute missing, Pam Bondi also addressed the tens of thousands of videos that...
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of video that have just turned out to just be full of Jeffrey Epstein with these kids.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
And I don't even think she says that. I think she said it's stuff he downloaded. They said it in the past. In the past, they said it. In recent times, they said they have a bunch of videos of him with minors. But now the story has changed of just like, oh, it's just stuff he downloaded.
Jeez, man.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
Never going to see the light of day, that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I agree that probably some of this is true and it shouldn't see the light of day, but that isn't just what the FBI said they found. They also said they had videos and images of Epstein himself with minors. And was anyone else on these videos? We don't know, and they're not gonna release it. And finally, they also addressed this whole agent angle where Alex Acosta said back in the day that Epstein belonged to intelligence. The idea is he was working for someone. There's been reports that he had CIA meetings on his calendar, or that he might have been an FBI informant. Pam Bondi comes in and says she doesn't know anything about it.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that.
How is
now,
that
if true,
possible?
this is pretty unbelievable, because this is the same person who just saw all the files, reviewed all the files that were on her desk. No idea if he was a member of intelligence. Like, how is that possible that you reviewed the entire file? And does anyone actually believe that? Like, we're gonna hear definitive stuff on this? If they haven't released it now, if they're scolding you now, do you think really they're gonna open that can of worms back up? How can you really say you have no idea if that's the case if you've reviewed the entire file? There's really no way to see this release as anything other than an abject humiliation of the people involved here, and it's mostly their own fault. I mean, these are the same people who engaged in the conspiratorial thinking of, hey, this is definitely a cover-up, this is definitely more to see here. Then they get in, and then they say the same stuff. So really, it comes down to they overpromised, they underdelivered, and then now they're scolding everybody involved for expecting the things that they were promised.
For sure.
Even Peter Doocy of Fox News, who's not exactly a left-leaning guy, was pressing the White House secretary on exactly this. These promises that failed to live up to the hype.
Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances.
Donald Trump certainly has a type,
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, most definitely.
According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at...
So what's crazy with this guy here, Doocy, he just swings from the Republicans' ball bag, right? And he's even perplexed as to, wait a minute, where did it go? Like, what's happening? This has just been one big sham, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Dude, this happened 6 years ago.
It's crazy.
When he committed.
Crazy.
Oop. Gotta block that out. Gotta remember to block that out. It's a forbidden word.
What the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network, on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she is saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars.
Yeah, they're more than committed to bad people getting put behind
Sure.
bars, except
Certainly
for
seems
anyone
like
who's
it.
involved
100%.
with Epstein. Where are the Epstein bad guys who were on that island, who were fraternizing with Epstein? Are we to believe that none of them did anything incriminating? It was just Epstein by himself, and all these people loved hanging out with him? I mean, we have reports. Like, the crazy thing is all this stuff is open.
Right.
We have reports that Epstein's whole house was bugged specifically to record people in their private moments, and we're supposed to pretend like none of this existed.
He showed me where the men monitoring everything were. I looked on the cameras and I saw toilet, bed, toilet, bed. It was very obvious that they were like monitoring private moments.
So the idea that it's just Epstein,
Tens of thousands of
there were
videos.
multiple bedrooms being recorded, but apparently maybe he was just checking in to make sure they got a good night's sleep. He just wanted to make sure these millionaires and billionaires were getting their 8 hours. So yeah, the level of gaslighting here is unbelievable, and that's going to be where we have to wrap it. Don't forget, Crime is Legal merch is ending in a
we'll
few
try
days.
to link
Go
that,
to
that
coffeezilla.store
video down
if you
for
want to get that,
Coffee-
and that's basically it.
Coffeezilla. He's worth a view and a follow or a subscribe if you don't, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, that was some good.
But yeah,
work
what a
there, man.
wild story. And you know what's wild about this this whole thing, dude, is I have been spouting this conspiracy theory since the late 90s, dude.
What part? What theory? What conspiracy theory?
Dude, like, I'm like, oh, the fucking politicians all go out to fucking creepy sex islands and fucking have their way with minors, and Bill Clinton's fucking goes over there all the time. People are just like, yeah. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it is, dude. Never happened.
Yeah, it never happened. And I mean, Bill Clinton, he was like one of the best clients, if you will.
Yeah, so that is just such like a crazy slap in the face. I also don't understand why no one's talking about, like, no one's just like, hey, he said he was your best friend for 10 years. I remember someone did ask him about that one time, actually, and his response was like, yeah, we were pretty close, but he made some like inappropriate comments at like someone's kid at like one of his parties or something.
Yeah, at a cocktail party.
And he was just like, yeah, I don't hang out with them anymore. You know, we can hope that's true. But, oh man, what a fucking weird thing to say. Just fucking jump down that guy's neck. Just like, are you still talking about that?
Yeah. We have tragedy.
Yeah, man. It's been a couple hours. Thought we could maybe throw the ball back and forth a little bit on it. That's unreal.
And you know what's crazy here, man, is that was like one of the big things that even folks in his own camp, I mean, you know, like going back to the Kash Patel and his VP, everybody, man, is like, yeah, we're gonna show you, you know, expose and bring justice, right? And it's just not happening, man. I mean, the powers that be, dude, could you imagine? That would literally be like the card that you pull out and like building a house of cards, if you will, right? Like,
yeah.
If that happened, imagine the repercussions that would have happened if this list really did make it, with all the hearsay, all the rumors that who was on that list, what it would have done to not only our country, but like globally. You know what I mean? Like, just crazy.
For
crazy,
sure.
Crazy.
Because here's the thing too, right? Is like there has to be people on that list that are like Donald Trump's enemies, right? But he can't out them because that person will just be like, "Oh yeah, you know who else was there? I got my own fucking list."
The Don. Yeah. No, really, man. It's that whole. All right, this is a secret society. We have to keep this quiet, man.
And like, I think another aspect of it is like they see this list, right? And there's so many people on it in entertainment, in politics. Like, it's just a large fucking list. And it's so large that I bet they were just like, we can't even, our government would crumble. We'd have to get rid of 65% of everyone running everything right now. If you're involved in the White House, dude, you're probably fucking involved in some way, shape, or form. So they were just like, we can't just. What are we gonna do?
Right. Exactly.
Just get rid of fucking 65%. You familiar with Grok? Elon Musk's AI?
Yeah. That's I see it all the time on the app formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah. Do you use it at all? Have you used it?
No, I don't. I use the other one, the Chat GPT.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, in the past, it's kind of said some off the wall stuff, and their excuse was always I was hoping it was here in this thing, but they were like, oh, it was a mistake, like it was like a bad like line of code or something. You know, they'd always just kind of like chalk it up to like it was an oopsie doodle.
It's learning.
We oopsie doodled it, right? And have you seen the shit going on the last couple days?
No.
Oh boy, this thing has went rogue. So he said he made some changes to it, and you will find like it's a lot better at having conversations, right? But people were finding it was just bringing up shit, like unpromptedly bringing up like shit about Hitler. Right?
Oh yeah, I did see something about that, like a bunch of anti-Semitic stuff.
And it said a bunch of shit. It said it pretty much claimed that it was Mecha Hitler. And it was just like,
What does that mean? Like I'm the
response-
Hitler of all Hitlers?
yeah, like the ultimate, like like a big fucking robot. But yeah, it's going crazy. It's saying, you know, to deal with such such vile anti-white hate, who's to deal with that? Adolf Hitler, no question. If calling out radicals and cheering dead kids makes me literally Hitler, then pass the mustache. Truth hurts more than floods. Now, that sounds like exactly something Elon Musk would say.
100%. What?
There is a part of me that thinks it was just him typing some of these. He was just like pissed off, just like, you know, he's so fucking petty. We'll just like argue with fucking nobodies on Twitter.
Yeah, and he's so robotic too, man. And he's just such a creep, dude. Like he is just such a creep, man. You imagine him alone at his house, like that's probably like he was probably just banging up some rails, man. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, you know, I always just, you know, he's got that weird shaped body, like, you know, a fucking 1960s refrigerator, just looking all weird. And, you know, and how many kids does he have?
Several.
14 kids, dude.
Yeah, he's like a pro athlete, dude. He just drops that seed everywhere. And he's got several different moms, I think.
Well, here's the thing, too, about him and his seed, is I recently read that all of these were through, like, in vitro fertilization.
Well, of course. Wow.
Like, he's not laying the pipe at all.
It's literally being extracted.
And I went, oh, that makes more sense, because I was just like, I just can't see him that weird. I just can't see it. I can't see it happen.
I don't know, man. I'd pay good money to watch him fuck, just because it'd be kind of comical, like, you know what I mean?
Oh man, I wish he's gonna start at OnlyFans just because you only said that.
I feel like he's gonna be like this.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Don't make eye contact.
Look away.
Don't make eye contact. I wish you were dead.
Yeah, you know, billionaires, dude, they gotta have the weirdest sex. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they gotta be like so numb to like anything normal, and they're probably numb to the like most extreme shit where they're just like, they just gotta be into the weirdest, wackiest shit, dude.
He's like, I want you to whip out the Assmaster 2000, and it's like this like cement mixer of a butt plug, dude, that just fucking whoa, you know what I mean?
And that's exactly why, like,
did I make you lose your train of thought?
Like, with P Diddy, dude. Like he's like, I've had everything, I've done everything. I just like pay other people to fuck in front of me now, and I just tell them to do weird shit. And that's what I like.
Yeah, now that is crazy. Now that you just mentioned him, man. It's been a minute since like that shit kind of happened last week. Since we've chatted too, right? So Epstein,
yeah.
And then Diddy gets off on. Previously, Diddy gets off on this shit. Like you can't make this up, bro.
And I honestly, I felt like he was like almost like the fall guy, right? Like he was like the B story that was like the distraction to get people to stop fucking talking about Epstein. They're like, he's dead.
Look over here.
Worry about this guy. He's alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they were like, oh, he's fucking he's probably just gonna get a little bit probation
and
get his time served cut off.
They basically chalked all of this up, and you know, say what you want about that girl that was his girlfriend, and horrible things that he did, like the beatings that were on video, right? But they're chalking it up as this was just a swinger's lifestyle. Like they're saying this was just a swinger's lifestyle, and she was not coerced into doing this, and the only charges he's gonna face is, what was it? Calling prostitutes. He was like, hiring male prostitutes to come fuck his old lady.
Having a little fun.
Having a little fun.
He's pretty much getting.
Yeah, like
he's getting charged having a little fun.
he literally. It just blows my mind, man. Just blows my mind.
Well, it was also crazy because his attorney backed out like not too long ago and was just like, I can't possibly fucking be on this man's side anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
How disturbing.
And then from what I read, he pretty much got away with all the shit because of the text messages, because of the way he would just be like, hey, you know, fucking be here at this time and this, and she would be like, oh yeah, okay, like. Instead of saying no, it would be like she said she was scared to say no to him, but they kind of were just like, she's consenting. There's proof of consent here, and that's what we have to go by. Even though she said she, was saying yes because she felt like she couldn't say no to him because she'd get beat the fuck up. But that, from what I read, that was pretty much the gist of why most of that kind of ended up just getting swept away, is because there was consenting text messages that the jury just loved, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And they also threw like a bunch of shit out that wasn't admissible in court, that the prosecuting team was wanting to use. So again, I think it's twofold, man. With it's too much of a coincidence that Diddy it's just insane, man, with the amount of shit that they had on him to go bust into his house, make this huge, big ordeal over it, to all come down to it was a swinger's lifestyle. And then 5 days later, what a Epstein files? What do you mean? Huh?
Yeah.
What do you mean? No.
How are you still talking about that?
Yeah. Do you realize that there's people that are missing in Texas? Yeah, of course we do. We've all seen it. It's horrible. It's a god-awful thing, Mr. President. Yeah. However, let's get back to what we're here for, and that was to hear about this file that was on Bondi's desk that is no longer there. There was nothing in it. Crazy.
All right, never mind, dude. I'll just. This is just a short clip anyway, dude. It's an old clip of Puff Daddy. He calls himself Puff Daddy, so you know it's old,
yep.
Right? He says.
What's this? When he rolled? When he hung around with Mace and all that shit.
Yeah, take that. Take that.
He
used to always say. Which is creepy now.
Go take that dick.
He says. He says, if you control oil, you control the world. This is what he says in this clip. He's talking to the camera. He says the Roman Empire was so powerful because of olive oil. How did John D. Rockefeller become the richest man in the world? Crude oil. How did Puff throw the greatest parties of all time? Baby oil. That's what he said in like the 90s, dude. Just been doing this like crazy. And you know, I wouldn't be shocked to learn that he learned his whole racket from fucking Mr. Epstein. Kind of saw what he was doing and was just like, yeah, I'm going to kind of do the same shit in just a lower level.
I mean, isn't there, they've crossed paths, right? Like there's...
I'm sure of it.
You know?
Yeah.
It just had to have happened. Both big time, like, New Yorkers, right?
New York financier.
Yeah. I mean, we know who else is a big time New Yorker is that fucking Jay-Z, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, there's a lot of those names. There's a lot of those names that were supposed to be on there. Just saying, his was one of them, man. And Beyonce.
I wouldn't doubt it. But this is the exact fucking reason why we need that goddamn list.
Just so everybody knows, Jay-Z is not the greatest of all time.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. Just absolutely wild. So, got a little bit of time here. Let's finish it up with a little segment called I'm Getting Mad!
This is my favorite part, I think. This is going to be my favorite part of this whole fucking show. And I look forward to this if you can promise me that we can fucking do this,
I'm getting mad
regularly, it will really help me out in therapy. Okay, like this would be
sure.
This would be great, man. This would be great. So what's getting you mad? What are you mad about?
Man, off the top of my head, these are all gonna be like little things that just kind of fucking really upset me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, I hate it. I hate it when like you pull up to like a 4-way stop and someone completely fucks up the flow and tries to get like other people to go when it's their turn. Dude, that drives me up the fucking wall. When it's just like we all know what to do. Whoever stops fucking first goes, and then we all fucking come to it and we're all waiting for fucking Mr. A to go, and he's like trying to wave through like someone else. Like they're trying to wave through C. And then you're B sitting there like, what are you doing? I'm next. You're trying to wave through a guy who's not even next. It's your turn to go. And at this point, like, you fucked up the flow of traffic. You've done everyone a disservice. That pisses me off.
Yep. The 4-way stop, man. That's a classic piss off. And
yeah,
I'm glad that they've. Well, it's another angry thing, but a lot of those 4-way stops they've turned into those roundabouts. Which those can be a blessing, but also at the same time, if people don't know how to use them, oh my god, it's
that
like,
happens
yeah,
too.
bro, and you're like, fucking go!
Completely fucks up the whole purpose.
Fucking go! Yeah. God damn, man, god damn. So, I want to share one. Okay, this drives me nuts, man. Mm-hmm. Nothing worse than these fucking people out at the store, and this is why my wife doesn't let me go out in public, man, because I am really turning into the angry.
She keeps you locked up.
Down here in the basement. I work down here. We do our show down here. Like, I am just a basement dweller, man. I always wanted to live in my mom's basement, but she wouldn't have it. But anyways, what's pissing me off, and this is one of my huge ones, when I'm out in public at, say, like a grocery store, right? That's my big action for maybe the week or the month, right? I get to go to the grocery store. And you get these people that have their Amigo on speakerphone, and they're talking like this. And
why'd you say Amigo, though?
well, I don't know. I just first word that came to my mind.
Okay, just making sure.
Was that a little racy?
It sounded like it was directed towards someone in particular.
Oh. No. Okay.
This is for anyone.
Yeah, okay, how about this? So they've got their cracker buddy on the other line, and they've got it on speakerphone, right? And they're just yapping their fucking trap. Bop, bop, bop. Man, fuck this. And and I'm like, why? Like, but why are they doing this, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it have to be on speakerphone? Like, are you that fucking...
Makes no sense.
Are you that fucking... This is my thing. Are you that fucking lazy that you can't fucking go like this? Like, you can't be like a normal fucking human being and be like, I'm gonna talk to this person like a real fucking person? Instead, it's like they want all these people to fucking look at them and hear their conversation, and then when they... You know, you're like, hey, pipe down a little bit. Hey, man, fuck you. Like,
I regret to inform you that No Good Opinions has been canceled.
But sometimes I just flick on that switch, man. They call me white chocolate.
No, they don't.
Huh?
No, they don't.
You're right. You're right, man. You're right. But no, they don't call you white chocolate. You're the furthest thing away from chocolate. Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
So yeah, that drives me nuts. And then the FaceTime. The FaceTiming. Do not, and I repeat, do not just randomly FaceTime me.
Now that's interesting. Why not?
I just don't like it, bro. I just don't like it. I think it's just...
But you can answer it without video.
Yeah.
You can just answer it regularly.
Yeah, the FaceTime audio, but I just think it's really weird, like...
But I think it'd be weirder to be like, hey man, can I FaceTime you?
No, just call me. Like...
Oh, just call, you're saying?
Yeah, just call. Don't...
You don't want the FaceTime?
No, don't FaceTime me. Like, I think a FaceTime, and it's, again, this is just my fucked up way of thinking, but I just don't like it, man. Like, people that want to go to the FaceTime first before like a text or a call. I don't know. I'm at the point now where I'm just like, you know what? Fucking text me. I don't even want to talk on the phone.
Yeah. That I can get more on board with, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on the scenario for sure. 'Cause sometimes I'll get like a FaceTime. I'll be in the shower. I'm just like, I'm not about to answer any of that either way. But I think I really don't talk on the phone much at all, unless it's for like business or really just like my daughter.
Yeah.
So it's mostly FaceTime anyway. So, but yeah, we'll probably wrap it up here. I'll end it with talking about this thing we kind of started talking before we started recording though. But quite some time ago, probably this is at least when I watched it. Maybe it was older than that, but maybe 5-6 years ago. Watched this documentary called I believe it was called 3 Perfect Strangers, and the story was wild. This dude, it kind of starts with this dude. He goes to college, right? He's adopted, and he goes to college, and everyone's just like, "Hey man, welcome back. You know, we thought you weren't coming back, dude." And he's just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" You know, just kind of thinking like everyone's like kind of like pulling a prank on him or something, because everyone's just like acting like they know him and shit. And you know, like girls are coming up to him and like hugging him and stuff, like, "Oh, hey, didn't expect to see you again." And he's just like, "What the hell?" And he's like sitting in his dorm room, and this dude comes in and like his fucking face falls flat, and he's like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, I thought you were like leaving." And he's just like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on, dude. Like, everyone's like pretending they know me or something." And he like finds out it's not the dude he thought he was, but it looks exactly like him. It sounds exactly like him. And he's just like, "What the fuck, dude?" And he's like, "Is there any chance like you were adopted?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "When's your birthday?" And he said his birthday, and he was like, "Holy shit." He was like, "Come with me." And they like run down to this payphone, because this is how long ago it actually like took place. And they call this dude, and he's like, "Hey man, I got this guy down here, you know, that looks just like you, sounds just like you, and has the same birthday. And like, I know you were also adopted, right?" And he was just like, "All right." He's like, you know, "Come on by," or whatever. And he like lived far away, and like he's like, I guess, because he hopped on the phone too and like heard the guy talking. He's like, "It was my voice." So they drive down to wherever this guy was. They open the door, and they just like look at each other, and they just kind of like just know, like, they're clearly the same fucking dude, right? And they discovered that they were twins that were separated at birth at the adoption agency, like for like better placement, because like typically people, you know, are less likely to take twins and just want one, yada yada yada, right? So they're getting like all this like crazy media coverage. They're getting stories in the newspaper about these guys that, you know, found each other fucking 20 years or probably 19 years later, you know, discovered that they were fucking long lost twins. They're on Sally Jesse Raphael. Again, they're in the newspaper, they're in magazines.
Haven't heard that name in a minute.
And yeah, and they this other couple opens up a newspaper and sees a fucking this article about these two brothers, and they're immediately like, "Holy shit, these two people look exactly like our fucking son that we adopted." And like they said, they could tell as soon as they saw the hands, they could tell, because they had these like huge fucking bear paws on them, these like massive hands for some reason, right? So as the story goes, ends up being triplets that were separated at birth at this adoption agency, right? So then the boys Dude, they're having a fucking field day, dude. They're touring the fucking country. Everyone wants interviews with them. They're getting all this money. They're opening up their own restaurants. Like they're having a good time, right? Like they're riding the fucking wave. They're going on talk shows. They're answering questions at the same time. They're describing their interest in girls is exactly the same. You know, they all like the same things, and they're having a great time, right? And the parents get together and they're like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, none of them had any idea that, you know, their sons had triplets out there. So they were a little upset because they all had this mentality of like, I would have taken all three if I would have known. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you tell us that? Like, that seems crazy, right? So the parents, they all decide to take a little fucking trip down to this adoption agency, and they go, what's going on here, guys? Like, this is something you should have told us, and you've changed the course of all of our lives, because any one of us would have taken all three of these boys had we have known, right? They felt like they were kind of like duped. Like, my son had two other brothers he could have known his whole life. And, you know, you kept that away from us, and that's fucked up. So they go to try to figure out what's going on at this adoption agency, right? And they're just like, oh, you know, it is what it is. That's just kind of standard procedure. The chances of triplets, you know, getting all in the same home, it virtually never fucking happens, is what they said. And they were just kind of like, oh, well, you know, it's fucked up because we would have all gladly taken all three had any of us have known. The placement was as such. One was placed with a really rich family, one was placed with a mediocre family, and one was placed with like a crazy poor family. It was raining this day, right? And they're all just like, oh, we're disappointed, but it is what it is. And they're all leaving this fucking adoption agency, and the dad, it's raining out, and he goes, oh, I forgot my umbrella. I gotta go get my umbrella back in the office where we just had this meeting, right? So he walks back into this office in the adoption agency, and they're all popping champagne and pouring champagne for each other, like they're celebrating something, like they just got away with something huge, right? They're all fucking celebrating, drinking champagne. And he's like, what the fuck's all this about? And they're just like, oh, nothing, you know, nothing to see here. So the story like breaks out, and it kind of ends with this like sad conclusion. One of the brothers commits suicide, right? Because they the brothers figured out they were part of this experiment, right? This whole thing ended up being this like government experiment where the mother of these three triplets was had psychosis. Had this like wild psychosis, and they were doing a nature versus nurture thing to see if like this was truly hereditary, or if this was something that was like this kind of psychosis was like learned, or if it was something that could be passed down. They didn't know.
So did they implant her with the triplets?
No.
Okay.
No, as far as we know,
okay.
Right? Because the brothers, they found this out, and they were like, dude, that's fucked up. Like, you split us up for our whole lives. There's this stipulation, I forget what it's called, but there's a stipulation where like in instances like this in government where you have to wait until everyone involved with the experiment dies before you can release the results, or even what it was even for. So I forget what it was called, but this particular program is under that. So the people that are even involved, these people that are still being surveillanced daily, they were all being surveillanced daily because they were part, like, their families throughout this whole thing, because they were doing this experiment versus nature versus nurture. Can this psychosis be passed down? So all these people were being surveilled, all these families, this whole time, right? So the brothers are all pissed off. They're like, what's this experiment about? What are the fucking results? What the fuck is going on here? And it's like all under this like special clause where like until everyone dies that was involved, they're not talking about any of it. And like I think that was like the same thing that like the Tuskegee experiments were like under, like where like everyone had to die off that was involved directly before they came out and were like, yeah, that was all true, and we actually fucking did all that shit.
Right, before there would be like actual documentation.
Yeah, you know, none of us will ever be alive, in theory, to ever find out what any of that was ever fucking about. or what the results were, or what they were actually even fucking really testing.
When did this flick come out?
I think it came out about 5 or 6 years ago when I watched it.
What'd you say it's called?
I think it's called 3 Perfect Strangers.
I'm gonna have to put that on my list of
2018.
Okay.
3 Identical Strangers.
3
it's called.
Identical Strangers.
Yep.
I'm gonna check that out.
But yeah, super sad ending. You know, because one of the kids ended up, you know, actually committing. But yeah, it's a wild story, man. It's worth the watch. I mean, I kind of spoiled it there for you and everyone else that's listening, but you know, what are the chances anyone's going to go watch it anyway?
Right. I mean, I'm gonna, but I forgot what
Yeah.
what was told to me an hour ago.
That's true. Still an interesting watch because it's like 90 minutes long, and you know, there's obviously a lot of fucking details that I left out. I forgot a bunch of shit. There's a lot of very interesting details. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up here for our first episode of the No Good Opinions podcast. If you're still here, if you're still around, you got to be one of the coolest people around. So if you haven't already, pop that subscribe button, click the like, make sure all the notifications. A lot of people don't know this. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it on this first episode, and it's going to be the only time I fucking say it. If you subscribe, YouTube still decides whether or not it wants to fucking send you the notification when we release a new video. So you fucking click subscribe, you click the little drop down, you click all notifications. That way you get notified every time we release a video.
So that's all notifications?
It's too much. That's right. You want all notifications on. Otherwise, you know, they just pick and choose whether they want to send you notifications when your subscriptions release videos. It's fucking annoying.
Dirtbags.
But that's life. But that's it. Any more final thoughts?
No, I just got more stuff that's making me upset that I can't wait to talk about.
All right.
This next go
Yeah,
round.
put it in there. We'll add it in the next go round. All right. Well, that's it from us. Thank you for watching No Good Opinions, and we'll see you next time. Peace.